Hello again, I'm Nathan, and I would rather be board gaming, and I am today doing a playthrough of the Big Book of Madness. I'm also going to talk about my little DIY. We'll just do a quick look through of the box. It's not really an unboxing, but you can see what all is in it. We'll go through the setup, and then you can join me in the next video as a playthrough. So stick around, hope you enjoy it. The Big Book of Madness.
So here's a look at the box. I wanted to show you. It's really shiny. It's got a cool design on it, but it's really glossy. And here is my custom-made scoreboard. Fits in there fine. There's the instruction book, and the insert is pretty nice. It holds everything pretty well. Here are your monster cards to build your book. It looks like an old book. We'll get to that in a moment. And then place to pull the deck of curses out, so they fit in there. And then down in there, if you can see, I can put my finger on this side, and it's another little insert. So I really like this box insert. It's working well. And we have our different spells, and I have them situated. There is the first player marker, and then starting spells, and spells you can upgrade to and such. So all the spells there. Then over here we have a few tokens that come with the game. I got a couple of these little things in here I might try to use to keep score. Just they look pretty neat. I like the way they look and feel. Then we got some curse tokens. Some curses later in the game will cause you to add extra element attacks to other curses, and that's all these are used for. So you won't use all of them, and some games you may not use them, and all depends. But they are. So there's water, fire, air, and earth. And they're pretty good thick quality. Yeah, they feel good. So there are those, and then here is the board. My board, if you can tell, is warped a little bit. That is the way it came. I cannot get it to flatten down. So it is a little warped, but at least it's warped down so that when you stretch it out on the table, we'll look at that in a moment. And then these are your different element cards, and they go values 1, 2, and 3 in each element. And see, the box has a nice indentation there for the board so that you can get it out and in really well. And then here is what the board is going to look like. It's not a very big board, even fully stretched out. And since I am a big wimp, I'm going to be playing on the easy difficulty, which means for the first 2 monsters you fight, there are no multicolored curses. Let me see if I can zoom in and show you that. So no multicolored. Then here you have a multicolored or an all element or whatever, because most of your basic curses only consist of 1 element to complete them, to stop them. This is the round marker. This is when the monster first appears. You'll open the book and the monster will do his thing, and then different curses, and there's that. Now I'm going to change the camera around. I've showed you most everything that comes in it, so I'm going to change the camera around and then show you. I'm going to randomly pick some characters. You'll watch me build the monster book and make the magic display. So just stick around and let's do that. So for now, I've got this zoomed out. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more when we get ready to play, but I wanted to show you I have the level 1 fire, 2, 3, wind, earth, and air. Now, once you build your starting deck for each character, it's determined by the player card, and we'll get to that in a moment. They'll have so many level 1s and 2s in their deck, depending on their elemental choice, their school of study. But then the 1s won't be used anymore. They're only used in the at the initial building of the deck. You can't buy an upgrade into a level 1 card. So we'll just put those off to the side, and we'll only be using the 2s and the 3s. Then we have the curse cards here. We'll just shuffle these up by each type, and these will be coming into play face down, so we don't need to see those, so I'll just have those up there off camera. Now, these are madness. Sometimes a curse might cause you to taste madness, or if you go through your entire deck, this is how you clog up your deck. You can think of it as going crazy, studying for your tests and such, and these monsters. So the way you do the madness is you get 10 plus 5 per player, and I'm going to be playing a 2-player game, and the rest we'll just return to the box. We won't need those. Then we need to create a purchase deck of upgradable spells. So here are the level 3 fire spells, level 2 and level 1. Each element has 3 spells of each level, and I just randomly pick one. That feels like a good one. I will place it there. Same thing with the level 2s, and then the level 1s, like so, and the rest of these will go into the box. They are not used this game, and I'll do that the same thing with the other 3 elements off camera. This is your starting deck. Every student, or player in this case, starts off with the same 4 cards at the beginning of the game. You have a basic ice spell. You can place 1 card from your hand into the support by playing 1 water. And we'll talk about that later. Combustion. For 1 fire, you can destroy 1 card from your hand. That's a good way to get rid of madness. But there is a difference in this game. If you heal your madness, and we'll talk about that later, it goes back to the pool. But if you destroy it, it's out of the game. And if you ever run out of these, you go mad. And if you need to draw them, then you lose. Okay? If you need to add some of these to your deck and you can't, then you lose. Okay? Telepathy. This is the wind. 1 other player takes 1 action. Okay? And earth, growth. You can draw 1 card. So everybody will start with those same 4. So I'm going to do that. Let's zoom in and look at some more of the game. So I got the curse cards off camera up there, and then I have created my spell offer. So we flip over the top one of each one. So let's look at that. Warm blooded. It costs 2 fire elements to buy and 1 to use. But every spell you can pay, you have to do it in 1 turn. You can pay 1, 2, or 3, up to 3 of its number in the white circle, or the element. So for instance here, it says for 1 I can discard 1 madness, and then for each madness I discard it, draw 2 cards. And you're like, well, why would it be for each madness when you can only discard 1 madness? Well, if I paid 3 of those fire elements, then that 1 in the white circle becomes a 3 because I activated it 3 times, which is the max. So I would discard 3 madness, and then for each madness I discard, I get to draw 2 cards. And that is a great way to have a huge hand for a huge turn. Okay, so that is the fire spell. The air aspiration. For 1 mana, receive 1 card in your hand from another player's hand or from the support pool. So this is a way that you can customize your deck even more. Thin out somebody else's deck and customize yours to a specific field of study if you want it. Sands of Time. For 1 earth mana, choose 1 card from your discard pile and place it on top of your deck. There you go. On top of the deck. So if you just purchased a level 3 spell and you have another one in your hand, then you can just put that, make sure you get it next turn. That's pretty good. And then Cool Head for the water. For 1 water, place 1 card from your hand in support and then draw 1 card. So this is really great. And once again, that can be pumped up to 3 times, which would be really nice, especially if you only paid the 1 card that's a level 3 power. So there's that. Now we've got the Grimoire, okay, the Book of Evil. In the base game, there is only 1 last page, and you can see it's the back of a book. It looks kind of like the back of an old leather-bound book, okay? It says the end, so you have no choice. That goes there. Then we have all these. They're monsters on the other side. We're going to try not to look, okay? And I'm trying not to look at the fronts too much either. And we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and did I hear somebody say stop? There we go. 5. And there are 4 front of the book. And if you notice, it looks like an old leather book with a lock on it. So that's pretty cool looking. Mix those up. And there is our Grimoire. So when you stack them up, now you've got a book. There's a pedestal for the book right there. Now time for our players. There are, if I can find them, I already kind of have them mixed up a little bit. There is a male and a female student of each elemental house or school. Like these are the 2 water people. This shows you their starting deck, how many of each level you have in them, okay? And they all have a special ability that will come into play. Okay, so there's a male and female of each house. And what I'm going to do is randomly choose my first player, since I'm playing 2-player solo, or 2-character solo, and I'm just going to randomly pick 1. Then my only restriction I'm putting on myself is that my second character chosen cannot be the other student of the same house. I just want 2 different houses. I don't care what the students are or anything like that, what their special abilities are. You can actually go through and pick if you want, but I'm doing this. And on the back sides of the card, it has like a turn order breakdown, which is pretty nice. Okay. So let's take this one. And, oh, and I got the female water. So we will look at her closer here in just a moment. And the other student is the firehouse or fire element male. All right. Let's take a closer look at the 2 characters that we got. Okay, here is the first character that I will be playing. It is the female water, and the artwork is just great. I love it. She will have 1 level 2 water card. may be hard to see. Let me see if I can pick this up, get a little bit closer. One level 2 water card. You can see the two little icons barely right there. 3 level 1s, 4 level 1 water, and then 2 level 1 fire and 2 level 1 earth. Okay. So she is a water primary with a secondary in air. And it says you can have up to 5 cards in support. Now, if you can see these little blue rectangle areas, okay, that is support. Most characters can only do 3. She can do up to 5. Okay, so we're going to want to build up water and do some support, because if I put a card here, then on another player or another student's turn, they can say, hey, put that in your discard pile. I'm going to use that point of water or whatever on my turn. So she can share her power with others. And the way you do that is by activating one of your spells. This is, for instance, is a starting spell. Place 1 card from your hand to support. So that's what that meant. These are support areas, and she can have up to 5 of them. So that is her special ability. Now let's see this one. This is the Fire Male student. During your turn, you can discard 1 Madness card from your hand and draw 1 card. Okay, now it does stay in your deck in the discard pile, but it lets you not get clogged up as bad as fast. He has 1 level 2 fire, 3 level 1 fire, 3 level 1 earth, 3 level 1 water, and 2 level 1 earth, or I'm sorry, fire, water, air, water, earth. And so I'm going to be struggling a little bit in earth in this game, so I'm going to have to choose one of them to kind of focus and help get a few earth cards in their deck or something. So those are the 2 characters that I'll be playing this game. Let's go back to the table. Okay, so I've zoomed out just a little bit. I have their decks made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You draw 6 cards. I'll just leave these here for now. You can't see her spells. They're down here. So I've moved him over here so you can kind of see. He has his spells here, and then I've got room for putting cards in support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That will be his starting hand. It'll just be off camera. And then this little book. Technically, it would start here so that when you move it onto the 1, we're going to flip the page, see the first monster, and that's the setup. You've seen the basic setup and the specific setup for these 2 characters, how to create the book, and so yeah, we're ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed this little sneak peek, the sort of an unboxing and the initial setup, and hope you join me as I play this 2-player solo of the Big Book of Madness.